Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Guys Time. Zach Bryce here. I know we didn't have an episode last week. I do apologize about that. I was supposed to have an interview with pro boxer Savantini right here from Macomb Township, Michigan. It fell through, but you know what? This week, you guys are in for a treat. Thursday, we're going to have that interview, so be on the lookout for that. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. She is absolutely phenomenal. You're going to learn more about Savantini. So we have that lined up for you. But yeah, we're back on the show. So Guys Time. A lot's happened throughout the past week. The Florida Panthers, back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. First time we've seen that since the Pittsburgh Penguins, or the Tampa Bay Lightning did it back in 2020 and 2021. So you had that going on. The state of Florida, very happy, obviously. The Edmonton Oilers, though. Connor McDavid, the face of the NHL, the best player in professional hockey. One goal throughout the entire Stanley Cup playoff, or throughout the entire Stanley Cup final. What the hell is that? That's unacceptable. Connor McDavid's got to figure that out. I know he can't do everything, but we have Leon Draisaitl. I know Zach Hyman was out with an injury for the Stanley Cup Finals, so you didn't have his presence there. But you have all these key players. You're supposed to be the guy. You are the guy, right? And it just, I don't know, it didn't look right for Connor McDavid. One goal throughout the entire Stanley Cup Finals. That's pathetic. So Edmonton, figure it out. It's going to be very interesting what they do with Connor McDavid. I don't know what they're going to do. But the Florida Panthers looking pretty good. Back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. State of Florida is pretty happy. Florida, you would think, hey, Florida's really not a hockey state. They're more like football and basketball. Hockey, though, Florida sun and ice doesn't really mix together. It's really not a good combination. It doesn't make sense, but back-to-back Stanley Cup champs, that's pretty impressive. So you had that going on, but we got to talk about these NBA Finals because these two teams, the Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder, two franchises seeking their first title ever. So Game 7, who doesn't love a Game 7, right? Whether it's basketball, baseball, hockey, it doesn't matter. Game 7, it's always energetic. It's always dramatic. The energy levels are high. Vibes are good. It's a hell of a time. Last night's game didn't disappoint. The Oklahoma City Thunder, finally, after all these years, and ever since he became the Oklahoma City Thunder way back in 2008, I was 12 years old in the 6th grade, and the hit song from that year was Low by Flo Rida. That's how long it's been since this team has been a franchise in the NBA. They got their first title last night. They win 103-91 against the Indiana Pacers. A great moment on home court. Good for them. Congratulations. We love to see it. First title in franchise history. Oklahoma City Thunder. Congrats. Now we got to talk about Tyrese Halliburton. Obviously, star player from the Indiana Pacers. Again, injuring that calf muscle that's been bothering him since Game 5 of this series of the NBA Finals. You got to give him credit. He's a tough dude. That guy is a tough dude. He wanted to play in the NBA Finals. A lot of people don't have that opportunity. So I understand it. This is something he's been envisioning all his life. Ever since he was a kid and the first time he picked up a basketball. Competing in the Game 7 of the NBA Finals, trying to bring the trophy back to Indiana. You hate to see it because he's a good player. But yeah, he left late in the first quarter. That calf injury that's been bothering him for the past couple games. He didn't come back. So at this point, if you're the Indiana Pacers, the question is, okay, our star player's down. Who is going to step up, right? Okay, well, you have a couple of options. You got Pascal Siakam, who had 16 points in this game. You have T.J. McConnell, who's been really good throughout these NBA Finals. Off the bench, he got 16 points, right? So shooting-wise, they're doing okay. What killed them, though, was those damn turnovers. It seemed like it's been a problem for the Pacers throughout the entire NBA Finals. The turnovers are pathetic if you're the Pacers. 23 turnovers in this game for the Indiana Pacers. And points off those turnovers, the Oklahoma City Thunder A team like that, well, you don't think they're going to take advantage of those turnovers? They got 32 points off the turnovers. So that kills you right there. Lack of ball security, making stupid decisions, taking horrible shots, just being lazy with the basketball. And a team like Oklahoma City Thunder, you got SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Finals MVP, League MVP, NBA champion now. You have him. You have Jalen Williams, who was great in these playoffs. Chet Holmgren played absolute great defense last night. Lots of blocks. A team like that, they're going to take advantage of those turnovers. So 23 turnovers for the Pacers. It's disgusting. That's one of the major reasons why they lost. I mean, yes, I get it. Tyrese Halliburton going down late in the first quarter with that calf injury probably kind of stabbed the Pacers in the heart a little bit in terms of their vibes and, their feelings and all that stuff. The energy level went way down when he went down with that calf injury. I get that. But when you turn the ball over 23 damn times and the Oklahoma City Thunder gets 32 points off of those turnovers, how do you win any game? How do you win an NBA final, Game 7 especially? But any game, regular season, playoff, preseason, it doesn't matter. 23 damn turnovers, that's pathetic. Especially Game 7 of the NBA Finals. And you're on the road. You already got a disadvantage with the crowd noise, right? So it was insane. The Oklahoma City Thunder only had 8 turnovers throughout the entire game. 8. So obviously ball security for them was not an issue. And then, points off the turnovers. Like I said, Oklahoma City, 32 points off those 23 turnovers committed by the Pacers. Only 10 points from the Pacers committed off those 8 turnovers committed by the Oklahoma City Thunder. So turnovers were a huge problem for the Indiana Pacers. God awful. So you had that going on. The leads. The Indiana Pacers throughout this entire ball game last night only had a 5-point lead. That was their largest lead through fourth quarters. 5. The Oklahoma City Thunder's largest lead, 22. At some point in that game last night, they were up by 22 points. That was their largest lead. I mean, they wanted it more. They were scoring. They were making good decisions. They were protecting that ball. They were playing great defense. Chet Holmgren enters the conversation, right? I mean, he was absolutely phenomenal. At the end of the third quarter, the score was 81-68. I mean, it was neck and neck. At halftime, it was 48-47 in favor of the Pacers. So the Pacers had a lead going into halftime, rather. But then the third quarter happened. That's when all hell broke loose. That's when crap hit the ceiling fan. That's when the Indiana Pacers fell completely apart. Too many damn turnovers, not getting the shots off. Oklahoma City couldn't miss a basket. They were absolutely phenomenal. So SGA, like I said, the league MVP this year, the finals MVP this year. He is the NBA champion with the Oklahoma City Thunder. This guy, one of the most memorable years in basketball history. So good for him. Young dude, has a lot left in the gas tank. You gotta love it, right? So SGA, they call him. That's his nickname. But obviously his real name is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. 29 points in the NBA Finals. That's what you want to see from your star player, right? I mean, let's go back to hockey a little bit. Connor McDavid, 1 goal through 6 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. It's not going to cut it, bro. I mean, you have to score more, obviously. You have to be a factor more in the Stanley Cup Finals. SGA in the NBA Finals, no problem. I'll just drop 29 points. And he did. Jalen Williams, he's got backup. He got 20 points. Chet Holmgren got 18. So I guess that's the 3-headed monster over there in Oklahoma City. But the star players came to play. And that's why they won the NBA championship last night. So good for them. So the Pacers, like I said, TJ McConnell, 16 points off the bench. Pascal Siakam, 16 points as well. You got to find that guy to replace Tyrese Halliburton because he's hurt. Who's going to step up to the plate? And the Pacers can only do so much. And Yeah, it was just not a good night for the Pacers, especially that third quarter. It was god awful, and then that fourth quarter, they tried to come back. Like I said, the Thunder, they were on another level. They were red hot. They couldn't be stopped. They couldn't miss a basket. It was an all-around great team effort by the Oklahoma City Thunder. So you had that. So Oklahoma City, a great season, 2024-25 season, 68 wins in the regular season. Obviously, as I mentioned earlier, they moved from the Seattle Supersonics to OKC back in 2008. That was their first season. They were 23-59. And only a couple years ago, back in 2022, they were 40-42, and they missed the playoffs. So a couple years later, they're NBA champions, winning their first title in franchise's history. Good for them. I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome to see that. I'm sick and tired of seeing like the Celtics win the championship, or the Lakers, or even the Miami Heat. All these teams that are always like there, right, in the NBA Finals, competing for championships. Even the Golden State Warriors, they had a run there many years ago. So to see a new team finally win a championship, first time ever in their franchise's history, that's pretty special to see. So Oklahoma City, enjoy the day. Congratulations, you guys deserve it. It was a good NBA final. It was a good Game 7, in my opinion. I don't know how you guys felt about it. Like I said, you know me, not the biggest basketball fan, but I had to watch this. We had to talk about this because it was a big deal. Two teams, two franchises seeking their first title in their franchise's history. Oklahoma City Thunder are the champions. They came out on top. Absolutely phenomenal. So congrats to the Thunder. Enjoy the day. I mean, it's a beautiful day out there. So that's the NBA Finals. We have to talk about these Tigers, man, because let me tell you something. Getting a little worried. I mean, I get it. We still got a lot of baseball to play. They got the Athletics. Yeah, we can't even call them the Oakland Athletics because they're not even playing in Oakland. They're playing in Sacramento, California, I do believe. So they're just the Athletics, or the A's for all you intelligent baseball fans out there. The special baseball fans, right? The A's, the Athletics, they play them tomorrow. The Tigers are off today. They need it. I mean, that series against Tampa Bay was kind of bad. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It was trash. I mean, yeah, we won yesterday 9-3. Thank God for that. But we lost 2 out of 3. And I get it, the Tampa Bay Rays were a hot team. We'll get into that in a couple seconds. But that Friday game, 14-8. I mean, 22 runs scored total, right? And we just got obliterated. So I don't know. It is what it is. What it is. That's baseball, though. Baseball teams get hot at the weirdest times. So the Detroit Tigers, they won yesterday, like I mentioned, 49-30 overall record. They're still the first place in the AL Central, so that's good. We got that going for us, but we got to start picking it up a little bit. They won yesterday, like I said, 9-3, but they dropped 2 out of 3 in that series against the Rays. But then we got to talk about these Tampa Bay Rays. So they have won 13 games since the start of the month of June. They've won 13 games. That's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, that is a team that wants to compete in the postseason. And they're second place in the AL East, right behind those Yankees. So 13 games throughout the entire month of June. That's phenomenal. But Wenzel Perez and Parker Meadows both went yard yesterday. They both got home runs. So helped us out a little bit. The offense picking it up very much so yesterday compared to the other 2 games, Friday and Saturday. So that was nice to see that. Riley Green, again, still red hot. He's the best Detroit Tiger right now. I mean, Mizzy can debate that. Tyler Mizzy, shout out to him. I'm pretty sure he would agree with me on that. 3 for 4 in this game. 19 RBIs total in the month of June. 19 RBIs. Think about that for a sec. I mean, there's guys who don't even have an RBI in general, or maybe they only have 3 RBIs. This guy has 19 in the month of June, and we still got this week. So, and we got the not the Oakland Athletics, excuse me, the Athletics. Regular Athletics, no Oakland name attached to them. We got them tomorrow for a 3-game series at home, by the way, so that'll help a little bit. But 19 RBIs for Riley Green in the month of June. That guy's phenomenal. I gotta go get his jersey, right? I gotta go to my guy and get his jersey for $30. But 19 RBIs. Carpenter, Kerry Carpenter. This guy, at the beginning of the year, he looked good, but now he's slumping a little bit. I mean, 9 hits, 3 home runs, 5 RBIs. 5. So we went from 19 RBIs from Riley Green to just 5 now for Kerry Carpenter in the month of June. He has a .173 batting average, a .204 on-base percentage. That's not good. I mean, he's not getting on base. He's not hitting the ball. I see him strike out a lot. He's got to get that fixed. I mean, and then there's a couple guys on this team that need to get an attitude adjustment. Spencer Torkelson, we'll get to him in a little bit, but one guy can't do it, right? And that goes, offense and pitching. Tarek Skubal, we all know, especially here in Detroit, we all know how he is. He's phenomenal. He's our ace. Possible back-to-back AL Cy Young Award winner this year. Maybe. We'll see. We got a lot of baseball to play. Riley Green on the offensive side. He can only do so much. So that's why the trade deadline comes up July 31st. Who do the Tigers need? I mean, obviously we're going to be buyers, right? We're first place in the AL Central. We want to win. We want to compete in the postseason. We're probably thinking of World Series because it's been 41 years since the last time the Detroit Tigers won that World Series, back in 1984. We had our shots back in 2006, and we had our shots back in 2012. It's 2025 now. We got to start picking it up and start doing some, making some moves. Start to make some plays here. So we need pitching. I mean, that's obvious. We need starting pitching. We need relief pitching. Bo Brisky, this season, he's one of our relievers. 24 hits, 16 earned runs, and he's given up 5 home runs. That's not going to cut it come postseason baseball. John Brabia. John Brabia, 22 hits, 16 earned runs, 16 earned runs, 3 home runs he's given up. We need a strong reliever, a couple of good relief pitchers to really shut it down, help our starters out, so it gives our offense an opportunity to help you guys score some runs. I mean, it's got to happen because this is getting pathetic. So you have that going on. Let's see what we got here. Skubal. I mean, this season, 20.1 innings pitched, 17 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 base on ball, or 5 walks rather, 18 strikeouts. That's only in the month of June. 18 strikeouts to 5 walks. Guy's phenomenal. 117 total strikeouts throughout the season, the entire season. That's best for 4th in the entire MLB. He has a 2.06 ERA, great ERA for Tarek Skubal, but he can't do it all. Like, we need starting pitching, we need relief pitching, and then another thing, on the offensive side, we need a right-handed batter, a solid, a consistent, a helpful right-handed bat, because here's the right-handed batters we got, right? We got a lot, most of our guys are left-handed, right? So right-handed batters, this is the month of June, okay? We're still in the month of June. These are the stats for the month of June for all of our right-handed batters, okay? Torque, he's got a batting average of .169. That's awful. I mean, this is supposed to be his better year, right? And yes, there's been times where he's shined, where he's been very consistent, where he's been a huge contributor to the success of this team. But the month of June hasn't treated him so well. Like, he's not getting that barbecue on 4th of July, right? He's not going to get those ribs. He's not going to get that grilled chicken. He's not going to get the hot dogs and hamburgers. He's going to get the scraps the way he's been playing the month of June. .169 batting average, 15 strikeouts. That's god-awful. That needs to get cleaned up. And he only has 10 hits. 10 hits total throughout the entire month of June. We're almost done with the damn month. Torque, what's going on? I mean, what are you doing? Like, what happened earlier in the year when you were red hot. I mean, I get guys go through slumps, bad breaks, bad times. It is what it is. We're all humans, but we need something better from Torque. Because 169 batting average, 15 strikeouts, only 10 hits throughout the entire month of June so far. It's not going to cut it, dude. You got to be scoring some runs, and you better get your ass on base instead of striking out 15 times. So you have him. He's got awful. He's got to change it. Javier Baez, right? He's gotten a lot of criticism here in Detroit. Multiple strikeouts. Obviously, he had an injured, plagued year last year. Really not putting those numbers up ever since he signed that 6-year, $140 million contract at the end of the 2021 season to be a part of the Detroit Tigers franchise. He's a former World Series champion with the Chicago Cubs. This year, though, not too bad. Could be better, but not too bad. 333 batting average, right? 8 strikeouts, better than probably at this point in the season. He probably would have been close to 60, right? He's got 20 hits. So that's good. He's probably our best right-handed batter. But that's only one guy. Gleyber Torres, second baseman we got from the New York Yankees. He's got 20 hits, 12 strikeouts, and he's batting .290. Not the greatest, but it's not horrible. I mean, compared to Spencer Torkelson's numbers. But we need a right-handed bat. So we need starting pitching and relief pitching, and we need a right-handed batter who can bat .300, get on base, score some runs, be a contributing factor to the success of this team, because obviously we got postseason on our minds. We got the World Series, as I mentioned before, on our minds as well. I mean, we got to figure something out because, I don't know, they've been streaky these past few weeks. You drop 2 out of 3 against Tampa Bay, right? You lose 2 out of 3 against Cincinnati, a team that I thought you should easily win 2 out of 3, maybe even swept them a couple weeks ago. But then, obviously Tampa Bay, good team, very good team, so it makes sense a little bit that you drop 2 out of 3 against those guys. But now you come back home against the Athletics. They're god-awful. 32-48 record. They're 5th place, last place in the AL West. I mean, they got a lot of situations, a lot of issues going on right now. They're playing in Sacramento. I mean, that just tells you what's going on. They're moving to Vegas in a couple years. Chaos everywhere. No one wants a team in Oakland. It seems like, Oakland Raiders moved to Vegas a few years ago. Now you got the Oakland Athletics moving to Vegas. It's insane. It's insanity in all shapes, forms, and sizes. But hopefully coming back home, going up against the A's, hopefully that'll help us out. Maybe we can win. We got Skubal, my man, on the mound tomorrow. 6:40 p.m. start. Tarek Skubal, he's been phenomenal. Let's try to get that W tomorrow, and maybe hopefully this 6-game homestand, because after Oakland, after the Athletics, I know I keep saying the Oakland Athletics are not there anymore. It's habit. I grew up with the Oakland Athletics, but they're just the Athletics. But after that series, we have the Minnesota Twins coming into town for a 3-game series. So lots of baseball to be played, but I think this is a time where we can start a winning streak. I strongly believe that, because the Athletics, they lost 2 out of 3 against the Cleveland Guardians. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. And then, side note, Riley Green, month of June, he has 24 hits as well. But like I said, that's one guy there's something needs to happen. Something, at the trade deadline, we got to get some players. We want to win, right? Well, we got to go all in at this point. We're going to be buyers for sure. It only makes sense, right? So, Tigers, still first place. We appreciate it, but there's been a couple of points there, a couple times throughout these past few weeks where they've been very streaky, and that's very dangerous, especially when we're almost close to the All-Star game, the All-Star break, and then after that, that's when we have to make that comeback and start playing some great baseball. Compared to last season where, everyone was counting us out, we're not going to make it to the playoffs, and we ended up going to the playoffs. We beat the Houston Astros in 5 games. in the wild card round, but then we obviously lose to the Cleveland Guardians in the next round of playoffs. But we made it, so we got to make that run, but we got to be more dominant than ever at this point. I mean, we're all in. So go Tigers. Day off today. Got the Athletics tomorrow, 3-game series, and handle your business. That's the Tigers. So now, fight fans, guess what? We have another fight night. Woo! Yes, sir. Month of June, you already know, UFC's putting on another fight night. UFC 318, or 317 rather, excuse me, live from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. So we're back on common ground. This past weekend, they were in Azerbaijan. I don't even know where the hell that is. They had a fight night there this past weekend. Khalil Roundtree dominated Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill, that's his third loss in a row. I think he's done. Roundtree back in the lightweight contention, possibly for the title. You got Ankalaev, the champion, but then you got Pereira around as well. So that's going to be very interesting how the matchmakers make that happen. But yeah, we're back in the U.S., Las Vegas, Nevada, iconic venue, obviously, iconic place, rather, for UFC. But UFC 317 this weekend, guys, 10 p.m. start for the main card. The prelims start at 8 on ESPN and ESPN Plus, and then the early prelims will be on ESPN Plus at 6:30. This Saturday night, mark your calendars. Don't forget it. It's going to be a good one. So UFC 317, you got Ilia Topuria, undefeated, 16-0. Going up against Charles Oliveira, 35-10 record. This is your main event. It is for the vacant UFC lightweight championship. 5 rounds. These guys are going to absolutely kill each other. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. It should be fight of the night, just knowing their styles. Topuria, I mean, he's a great striker. I mean, he can use his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at times as well. Charles Oliveira, same thing. He would rather get a submission win because he has so many of them in his career. 21 wins by submission for Charles Oliveira. I mean, that's phenomenal. I mean, that just shows how skilled and how tough and how talented he truly is. So you have that. Topuria, you know, his track record, phenomenal. He's undefeated. He finished Alexander Volkanovski way back at UFC 298 a couple years ago. And then last year, he finished Max Holloway at UFC 308, both for the featherweight gold when he was competing at featherweight. So that's 145 pounds for everyone who doesn't know. But, I mean, those are two top-ranked guys. Those are two, I guess you can say legends, but those are two top fighters in the UFC. And he finished both of those guys. Knocked them out cold. Volkanovski, that was crazy. I mean, he landed that hook, that left hook, and just destroyed him. And then Max Holloway knocked him out as well. I mean, Ilia Topuria, when he gets those hands going, it's bad news. It's going to be a bad night for his opponent. But Charles Oliveira, he's been around for a minute, right? Like I said, 21 wins by submission, 10 by KO or TKO. So when I'm looking at Oliveira, he's going to try to make Ilia Topuria tap out. Like, he's going for that submission win, my opinion. But maybe the game plan changes a little bit for Charles Oliveira. Maybe he'll try to box and strike with Ilia Topuria. I don't think that's the greatest strategy, because if Ilia Topuria hits you, chances are you're going to get knocked out. Look what he did against Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway. Knocked both of them out because he's a savage. So it's going to be very interesting how this fight turns out. But Charles Oliveira, just a resume of sorts. He's beaten Michael Chandler 2 times. He's beaten Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje. I mean, these guys are top-ranked fighters in the lightweight division. Top 10 ranked fighters in the lightweight division, all for the lightweight championship. You know, so that's a pretty impressive resume for Charles Oliveira. And then he lost a split decision at UFC 300 last year to Arman Tsarukyan. That was crazy because if you guys don't remember, he had a couple submission holds. I think one of them was a Darce choke, and then another one I think was a guillotine choke. I think it was guillotine choke. I can't remember. But he had couple opportunities there to submit Arman Tsarukyan, but Tsarukyan was able to do enough to get that split decision win over Charles Oliveira. So Charles Oliveira is ready to fight. I mean, he's been off for a while. This is going to be a good fight. Ilia Topuria is amazing. Obviously Charles Oliveira's last fight was against Michael Chandler. Second time around, those two fought back at UFC 309. So Ilia Topuria, he's ready. You know, he said he wanted to move up to lightweight. Well, here's your first test, bud. You're going up against one of the best lightweights around in Charles Oliveira. This is going to be a very interesting fight, but who's going to win? The Bryce has to make his pick, as I always do for UFC fights. 5 rounds, UFC lightweight title on the line. Topuria, Oliveira. I gotta go with Topuria, man. I think if he lands a punch, if that striking's elite, like we've seen the past few fights with Ilia Topuria, and if he lands, it's gonna be a rough night for Charles Oliveira. But you know what, Charles Oliveira, we've seen it time and time again. Adversity should be his middle name, because that guy almost lost to Michael Chandler the first time they fought. I mean, we all thought he was done. Michael Chandler clocked him, he caught him, and he was just pounding on him, dude. I mean, so many repeated shots. He survived the round, and in the second round, he gets the submission victory against Michael Chandler. So Charles Oliveira is definitely the definition of adversity. I wouldn't count him out at all. I mean, like I said, one of the best lightweights in the world. Like I said, a huge test for Ilia Topuria making his debut in the lightweight division. It's going to be a big test for him. But Ilia Topuria, I think, will get the win against Charles Oliveira. It's going to be a great fight. That is number one. I mean, that is a for sure fact. This fight is going to create fireworks. We got 4th of July next week, so what a great way to kind of kick off 4th of July, even though it's next week. 2 lightweights going at it, 2 absolute beasts, 2 absolute savages. Going to leave it all in the octagon. In the main event this Saturday night, I got Ilia Topuria. So check that one out. It's going to be amazing. Place your bets. We got that. Co-main event. We have another title fight. So once again, 2 title fights again for UFC 317. So the co-main event, you got the flyweight championship on the line. Alexandre Pantoja, the champion, 29-5 record, going against Kai Kara France, 25-11 record. So this is going to be interesting. 125-pound division, UFC flyweight championship on the line. Pantoja, he's on a 7-fight winning streak, 3 wins by submission, and then 3 unanimous decisions, and then 1 split decision against Brandon Moreno a couple years ago. So that was interesting there. And then he's beaten Brandon Royval, who's also on this card as well. I'll get to him in a couple minutes. He's beaten him 2 times. He's beaten Brandon Moreno, who's the former UFC flyweight champion, and he's beat Steve Erceg as well. So hell of a resume for Alexandre Pantoja. And then this is his 5th title fight he's competing in. He won the title back at UFC 290 way back in 2023. Like I said, he won by split decision. That was a hell of a fight. I mean, those two beat the crap out of each other against Brandon Moreno. So it's been a couple of years. He's back in action. He's a savage. I mean, he's fun to watch. I give him that. And 125 pounds, you know, these guys have cardio like it's nothing. I mean, they can fight all night, all day, all night. So it's going to be an interesting one. But Kai Kara France, his last fight, he beat Steve Erceg, as we mentioned earlier, by KO TKO. So he finished him at UFC 305. But then his resume is kind of hit or miss. It's kind of all over the place, right? Especially in the flyweight division. He lost 2 times to Brandon Moreno, okay? Alexandre Pantoja has beaten Brandon Moreno 2 times. And he's also, Kai Kara France, rather, he lost to Brandon Royval, which Pantoja has beaten twice. So it's kind of a mix, right? This is going to be a very interesting fight. Kai Kara France, this is a huge opportunity to show that he still belongs in the top ranks in the UFC flyweight division. What's going to happen, though? Who's going to win? I got to go with the champion, Pantoja. He comes in right now today, as we're speaking, minus 275 favorite to win, plus 225 underdog for Kai Kara France. I got to go with Pantoja, Alexandre Pantoja, the champion. I think just his style of just constant pressure is going to be too much for Kai Kara France. And I think Pantoja is going to handle his business and retain the title, the flyweight championship. So that's going to be a very interesting fight as well. Place your bet on that. But yeah, 2 title fights this weekend for UFC 317. But now we got to talk about the rest of this fight card. So Brandon Royval, just got done talking about him. He's going to be on this card. 17-7 record versus Joshua Vaughn, 14-2 record. Royval, he's on a 2-fight winning streak. So it's good to see him back on the winning side. He won both fights, split decision. But he won both fights rather on that 2-fight winning streak, both by split decision. So very close fights for both of those fights. One was against Brandon Moreno, so former UFC flyweight champion. So very interesting there. And then Vaughn, he's on a 4-fight winning streak as well. So it's the battle of winning streaks once again for the UFC. He's won 3 by unanimous. He had in that time he's had a 3-fight, or he's won those fights by 3 of them by unanimous decision. So you have that going on. And this is kind of short notice for Joshua Vaughn. He just fought like 3 weeks ago at UFC 316, the same card as Sean O'Malley, Merab Dvalishvili too. So 3 weeks out, he's already back in the octagon on the main card against Brandon Royval, who's one of the best flyweights around. It was supposed to be Manil Kape. He was supposed to fight Brandon Royval, but he had to pull out due to an injury. Very unfortunate because he's a great fighter as well. But yeah, Joshua Vaughn, he volunteered. Put me in, coach. 3 weeks later, after he just got done, competing in one fight, he's on another fight card, another pay-per-view rather, on the main card. So he's getting paid some big bucks here. You love to see it. It's dedication, it's commitment. He's a fighter's fighter. He's the people's champion. This is what we love to see. Compared to, maybe some people like John Jones, rather. Oh, I'm just going to sit this one out. But hey, we don't have to worry about that anymore. He officially retired. Oh my God, the UFC heavyweight division. There is a UFC heavyweight division. I thought, I didn't know. I couldn't tell because I haven't seen a heavyweight defend the title in damn near 3 years. But he's retired now. So maybe Tom Aspinall, the champion now, the official UFC heavyweight champion, we can start seeing some heavyweight title fights now. I mean, I get it. I like watching the small dudes beat the crap out of each other, but I want to see the big boys beat the crap out of each other as well. So, but anyways, yeah, that was off topic. I understand. But Joshua Vaughn's short notice. He fought 3 weeks ago at UFC 316, fighting on another card, main card, may I remind you, on short notice against Brandon Royval. That's going to be a very tough situation there. These two guys are pretty even. Minus 115. This is according to ESPN, by the way. The betting lines. Minus 115 for Brandon Royval as of today. Minus 105 for Joshua Vaughn. Who's going to win this one? 14-2 record for Joshua Vaughn. 17-7 record for Brandon Royval. Oh, man. I am going to go with Brandon Royval. I think that winning streak, I think he's got a lot of confidence coming into this fight. I like his style. Another guy who comes after you, Joshua Vaughn. He's going to be very interesting to watch as well. So Brandon Royval is going to win this one. That's my pick. That will be the 3rd fight on the main card for UFC 317. Now in the next fight, you got Beneil Dariush, 2 lightweights going on. Beneil Dariush, 22-6-1 record versus Renato Moicano, 26-1 record. Lightweights, 155-pound division, going at it. Dariush is on a 2-fight losing streak. He was finished by Arman Tsarukyan way back in December 2023, and Charles Oliveira finished him as well. So 2 strong, 2 top 10 lightweights finishing Beneil Dariush. And then before the 2-fight losing streak, he was on an 8-fight winning streak. He beat guys like Mateusz Gamrot, Tony Ferguson, Diego Ferreira. These guys are very good fighters, but now he's on a 2-fight losing streak. So you got Renato Moicano, his opponent. He was dominated in that title fight against Islam Makhachev. He lost by submission. He tapped out. That was way back at UFC 311 earlier this year, January of 2025. So both guys looking for a win, looking for a bounce back. The Beneil Dariush, I've seen him the past few times. I don't know. He just seems a little slower. He's not what he used to be. That fight against Tony Ferguson, he dominated Tony Ferguson for 3 rounds. It's just, I don't know. It's not, he doesn't look the same. And I get it, he's a little older. Ronaldo Moicano is old as well. But I think that fight against Islam Makhachev, he did learn a lot. That was his first title fight. So, the experience of fighting 5 rounds, 5-minute rounds, so 25 minutes of just surviving, I guess you can say, probably got to him. This is going to be a 3-round fight, so something he's more familiar with. I think he kind of bounces back in this one. I think he's going to get the victory. I got Moicano. Renato Moicano is going to win this fight against Beneil Dariush. It's going to be an interesting one. Like I said, both guys are on losing streaks. One guy's got to win, right? I mean, I don't know. It could be no contest, split draw. Anything can happen. But I got Ronaldo Moicano winning this fight. But yeah, before that title fight against Islam Makhachev, Ronaldo Moicano was on a 4-fight winning streak. So, and he has 10 wins, by the way, by submission. So, watch for the holds, watch for the grappling, the submission attempts by Moicano. Beneil Dariush, he's a grappler as well. So it's gonna be very interesting, that fight. But I got Moicano winning that. So you have that. But now to open the main card for UFC 317 this weekend, you got Peyton Talbot, a 9-1 record, going against Felipe Lima, 14-1 record. And this is a bantamweight division, so 135 pounds, 2 135 pounders going at. So you got a 9-fight winning streak for Peyton Talbot. He lost his last fight by unanimous decision against Raoni Barcelos back at UFC 311, January 2025. Same fight card as Islam Makhachev, Ronaldo Moicano title fight for the UFC lightweight title. So it's been a while since Peyton Talbot has fought, but he was on a 9-fight winning streak until he lost at UFC 311 earlier this year. But he has 7 wins by KO or knockout. So he's a knockout artist. He's looking for that power shot, and he's going to try to finish his opponent, right? He's 26 years old, so he's still young. So you have that going on. His opponent, Felipe Lima, he's on a 14-fight winning streak, right? He lost his first pro fight by submission, triangle choke submission, way back in 2015. All right, I was a senior in high school, and the top song that year, the number 1 hit song that year in 2015, Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars. Yeah, 10 damn years ago was the last time this guy lost a fight. So 14-fight winning streak since then. This is his 3rd UFC fight overall. He's been fighting all over the place. He comes in minus 190 favorite, plus 160 for Peyton Talbot. Who's going to win this one? I got to go with Felipe Lima. I mean, I get it. He hasn't lost a fight in 10 years. It's bound to happen. But 14-fight winning streak, that's damn near impressive. After his first pro fight, his first pro mixed martial arts fight, he lost by triangle submission. But since then, a dominant 14-fight winning streak. But that's going to be the first fight on the main card. Great way to open up UFC 317. So check it out this Saturday. T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Early prelim starts at 6:30. Prelims start at 8. The main card, starting with Peyton Talbot and Felipe Lima, starts at 10 o'clock on ESPN+. Check that out. Place your bets. Watch it with your friends and family. UFC 317 is going to be a good one, ladies and gentlemen. And I actually want to end today's episode today. I wanted to talk about, I'm sure a lot of you seen it on my personal page on Instagram and on Facebook. Last Friday, I had the greatest opportunity to talk on radio. I actually went there for an audition because Channel 955, Mojo in the Morning Show, they're looking for another on-air personality. I went in there and I had the opportunity to talk to those guys. So shout out to Mojo, shout out to Shannon, shout out to Kev, shout out to many people out there. Lydia, some familiar faces when I worked there in the promotions team department. Shout out to Lydia, Cody, Lester, Tony as well. A lot of familiar faces. It was great to be there. New location. When I worked there, they were in Farmington Hills. Now they're in Detroit, right around the Eastern Market. Great location for them. But just having the opportunity to be on radio, it was absolutely phenomenal. I'm glad I was a part of that. There were so many people there, over 100 people there. I got there at 4 in the morning. I was the 11th person in line. Had the opportunity to talk on the radio. I wish I had the opportunity to maybe tell some stories or tell them a little bit about my podcast. It is what it is, but hopefully me being a familiar face helped my chances of becoming the next on-air personality for Mojo in the Morning. But if it doesn't happen, hey man, I can say I was on radio for 5 minutes in my life. So shout out again to Channel 955, Mojo in the Morning, iHeartMedia for giving me an opportunity to talk on the radio. This is something I want to do with my life. I love talking. I love talking about sports. I want to talk about, life. I can tell great stories. I can be funny. I can be entertaining. I can talk about serious topics as well, some depressing topics. I know here on the podcast, we really don't talk about those things, but, I'm an open book. Give me the opportunity. Give me that lifeline. Open that door for me. Many great things can happen. So, again, thank you, Mojo in the Morning. Thank you guys so much for giving me that opportunity last Friday to be on the radio. I had a lot of support from my friends, my family. I mean, people I haven't talked to in 10 years were reaching out and saying, hey, man, that was awesome. You're on radio. Congrats, man. Keep it up. Good luck. And, that really meant a lot to me. So, thank you again. I just wanted to come out here and talk about that because I'm sure a lot of you've seen it, but maybe you guys missed it. But yeah, I had the opportunity to talk on Mojo in the Morning right here in Detroit, Michigan for 5 minutes. And it was a great experience. So got that going on. And that's how we end today's episode. So thank you again. We're back. Guys time. So sorry, like I said earlier in the podcast, that we missed last week, but we got in today, so I will have this episode up, as I usually do, later on today. The audio version is going to be available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and then, obviously, the video version. If you guys want to see my beautiful face, you can check that out on YouTube. At Guys Time with the Bride, subscribe now, and the new episode should be out. And then, yeah, like I said earlier, too, this Thursday, I will have an episode out, an interview with pro boxer Savannah Teeny. My first time doing an interview with her, so that's going to be very interesting. Check that one out. I will have that up by Friday. I mean, if I don't do it Thursday, I will have it for sure up by Friday. Get her out there, man. I mean, I'm sure anything helps. She's 5-0. Her last fight, she was dominant. She looked absolutely phenomenal. She kicked ass. And, yeah, I can't wait to interview her. So check that out. Be on the lookout for that Thursday. And you know what? It's Monday, guys. It's a beautiful day. Enjoy the rest of the day. And you guys be safe out there. All right, the prize is out. You have a great Monday. And you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Stay safe, my friends.